Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and this video is about the prophecy of World War III, which World War III is well on its way alongside the other prophecies we look forward to, such as the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a microchip, and then the salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel, and the destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great, which at the end of World War III will be the destruction of America. Because at the end of World War III, the ICBM missiles are going to be shot towards America, right? But before that can happen, the Mark of the Beast, which is a microchip, has to be fulfilled, that prophecy. Right now, as we are very clearly at the end of Esau's kingdom, Esau being the so-called white man, the rulers of this wicked kingdom today, things are building up, and things are building up very rapidly in these last final days. So here it is from Sky News: the UK rapidly developing plans to prepare for war. So let me get it. Firstly, Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, talking about World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is talking about World War III. All right, so World War III is coming quickly, and then here it is, UK rapidly developing plans to prepare for war. It says, the UK is rapidly developing plans to prepare the whole country for the possible outbreak of war, the Armed Forces Minister has said, and we know what's going to happen. The war is going to take place. All right, it is inevitable because it's Bible prophecy. It's already written in the scriptures to occur. And the area of contention is going to be over there in the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia, right? The scriptures let us know in the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, talking about the US, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, talking about the land of Saudi Arabia, with his face toward the east sea, which is talking about the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is talking about the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. So it's going to be over there in Western Asia, where things are going to pop off, all right? And so you have the major players regarding the World War III, all right? You have America and America's allies, NATO and the EU, and then you have the State of Israel, which is aligned with them, against Russia and Russia's allies. And Russia's allies include Iran, and will also eventually include Turkey, according to Bible prophecy. And then you can also take a look at the BRICS nations, BRICS. So these are the major sovereign powers of this world that are going to be going head to head. And then also, these are Edomite, so-called white people, right? Sovereign powers, Russia versus America, NATO, and the EU, all right? So it says here, the UK is rapidly developing plans to prepare the whole country for the possible outbreak of war, the Armed Forces Minister has said, underlining the role civilians would have to play in a major conflict. Al Karn said armies, navies, and air forces respond to crises, but societies, industries, and economies win wars. He said the shadow of war is knocking on Europe's door once more. That's the reality. We've got to be prepared to deter it. The comments came after Mark Rutte, the head of NATO, told allies on Thursday that Europe must ready itself for a confrontation with Russia on the kind of scale our grandparents and great-grandparents endured, a reference to the First and Second World Wars. All right, so they're getting ready for war. Then it says, in an indication of the threat, Britain revealed on Friday that the level of hostile intelligence activity, such as spying, hacking, and physical threats against its armed forces and the Ministry of Defense has jumped by more than 50% over the past year. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea are suspected of being the main culprits. All right, so it's going to be America, NATO, and the EU, that side, plus the state of Israel against Russia and Russia's allies. Okay, so it says it in the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, till there cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. All right, so the Lord is gathering up the heathen, putting the Spirit upon them to go to war. All right, over there in Western Asia, the so-called Middle East. All right, so this is why we're seeing all of these things happening, man. Okay, and then to add to it, something more fresh in the news, new Iran attack plans. Netanyahu plans to brief Trump on possible new Iran strikes. Okay, Israeli officials believe Iran is expanding its ballistic missile program. They are preparing to make the case during an upcoming meeting with Trump that it poses a new threat. Israeli officials have grown increasingly concerned that Iran is expanding productions of its ballistic missile program, which was damaged by Israeli military strikes earlier this year, and are preparing to brief President Donald Trump about options for attacking it again, according to a person with direct knowledge of the plans and 4 former U.S. officials briefed on the plans. Israeli officials also are concerned that Iran is reconstituting nuclear enrichment sites the U.S. bombed in June, the sources said, but they added the official view Iran's effort to rebuild facilities where they produce the ballistic missiles and to prepare its crippled air defense systems as more immediate concerns. All right, so the state of Israel is targeting Iran once more, and Iran is Russia's top ally. And we can go to the scriptures about what is happening here, because there are 2 scriptures that come to mind, Ezekiel 38 and then on the least of the flock. So let's get firstly the least of the flock. All right. So it says in Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he had taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purpose is that he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock, talking about the Israelis, the tribe of Amalek, the small hats, the state of Israel, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So based on the Joel chapter 2 and verse 20 that I read, we already know that they're going to lose. Okay, and then it says here, they shall make their habitation desolate with them. So what this is saying is that the state of Israel, the Israelis, they are going to be drawing America to go to war, right? This is what it says. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And this is literally what this is, where Netanyahu is going to Trump talking about Iran, and you know how they have been dealing with Iran, right? So this is, Bible prophecy, playing out, which will eventually lead to, this is the buildup of it, which will lead to that World War III over there in Western Asia, the so-called Middle East. All right. So then, with this type of situation happening, it will also, with Iran being a target, it will also draw out Russia to go to war, according to the scriptures. This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So Gog and Magog is talking about the Russians as they dwell in the land today that Gog and Magog once dwelt. They are not the original Gog and Magog, okay, but they dwell in that land today. So it's referring to the Russians, okay, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, talking about the Russians, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So Yahweh Shemishai is going to put the spirit upon them to go to war. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So they're going to be pushing forward with a great company, which is their alliance. And who is Russia's alliance right now? We can take a look at the BRICS nations, BRICS. And we know Russia's most prominent ally is Iran. That can literally be viewed based on current events. So then it says Persia, which Persia is talking about Iran. Ethiopia and Libya, which is talking about the so-called African nations. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. So this here in Ezekiel 32 and verse 6 is talking about Turkey. Now Turkey is a part of NATO. But when you look at the relationship between Turkey and its current allies, you can see that that relationship is deteriorating. And Turkey has spoken very boldly against the state of Israel, who is America's #1 ally. And remember, the scripture says that the state of Israel, the least of the flock, the tribe of Amalek, they're going to draw Babylon, which is America, out to war. You see? So Turkey is going to be joining with Russia and Russia's allies for World War III. And then Turkey, I believe, is the top 3 largest military forces in NATO. So that's going to be a big hit to that side when Turkey officially leaves to join Russia and Iran and the rest of that alliance. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is a guard unto its allies. So with the state of Israel continuously doing these things, right, to affect Russia and then drawing America into it, it is the prophecy speaking, man. And these are the times that we're in. All right, it's clear to see. Okay, so keep watch, because there's more to come. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shema Kodesh. Shalom.